Hey everyone, I'm going to go ahead and do the energy check-in for Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine for this week. I know I'm a little bit late. As some of you know, I did have a bit of a health scare at the end of last week. So I'm kind of had to recuperate for a little bit, but I am doing better. If anybody's interested in a personal reading, all the information is in the description box, okay? I do have this new deck. It is the Twin Flame Journey Tarot deck, and I want to go ahead and add it to my energy check-ins. So what I'm going to do first is go ahead and pull an overall energy, okay? An overall energy for this week, okay? Do keep in mind this may or may not resonate. Also, do keep in mind that just because I say this week, it could have already happened, or it could, be the week after or the week after that. Time, really, everybody's on different waves and different paths. So time, doesn't exactly meet everybody at the same time, okay? So just always keep that in mind. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this and get an overall energy. Spirit, what is the overall energy right now for Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine? What is the overall energy? All right, so we have Two of Pentacles, balancing act. All right, so we do have Two of Pentacles, like I said, a balancing act. Oddly enough, with the Three of Cups, okay? Three of Cups. Three of Cups says celebration and community. Because I'm a three-party reader, we understand that, when we see Three of Cups, it is going to basically talk about the three-party situation. Plus with this Two of Pentacles, which is, the balancing act, okay? So, we do have the Queen of Wands, okay, which is, it says confident and magnetic, okay? So I feel like Divine Feminines right now, understanding that, there is this balancing act between, this three-party situation. I feel like it's not stopping Divine Feminine from being confident in herself, being magnetic within herself, okay? I feel like she understands that it's a balancing act, like I said, with this three-party situation, but it's not stopping her. I feel like Divine Feminine right now is still, in her power, regardless of, the situation. With the Three of Cups coming up and the Two of Pentacles coming up, I really feel like, for the overall energy is basically saying that, this week, or at least for this energy check-in, this three-party situation and the balancing part of this three-party situation is really, really on the forefront of everything. Okay, there are times where we know we're in a three-party situation, but we don't really, sometimes we can put it on the back burner because we're living our lives. But the fact that these cards are coming out, I'm feeling like, yeah, it's probably going to be a very the energies are going to be very upfront this week, okay? However, even though they will be very upfront, I still feel like it's not going to stop divine feminines from still being in her queen power. You know, it's not going to stop her from, you know, being confident and magnetic. You know, it's you know, there's no stopping her, even though this, you know, this three-party situation and this balancing act may, you know, be very, very strong in the energy this week, okay? So that's what we have for that. So let's go ahead and let's see what else is going on. All right, so that was a flyer. We have winter. All right. You know how I feel about this winter card. It can be, you know, it can be about things being a bit cold. Things can be a bit frozen, okay? Let's see what else. Let's see what else. All right, so we do have divine timing. So, you know, even though things may be a bit cold right now, a bit frozen right now, this week in the connection, because again, I feel like this three-party situation is really causing, you know, divine masculine really doing this balancing act this week, okay? And so it could be a bit cold and a bit frozen, but what Spirit is saying is that, you know, still divine timing is still at work, okay? Just because things may be a little bit cold and frozen right now doesn't mean that the clock has stopped ticking, okay? All right, so we do have reinvention, we have communication, and we have devotion. So, you know, I'm feeling like, you know, with this winter, again, you know, you may feel like things are a bit cold and frozen right now, okay? But as I said, it doesn't mean that the clock has stopped ticking. What I feel like is, I feel like both divine masculine and divine feminine right now are really trying to, you know, reinvent themselves, okay? Trying to reinvent themselves. And, you know, still, you know, not to really worry so much about this winter and this coldness and this frozenness, because, you know, there is communication, okay? Communication is, you know, still in the energy, and, you know, there is still devotion on both parts for divine masculine and divine feminine, okay? So regardless, I just feel like maybe this week, you know, I just feel like this week right now, you know, again, possibly, you know, divine masculine the Two of Pentacles is about juggling, right? It's about juggling, weighing your options, right? So, Divine Masculine is really in a balancing act this week, and, really, thinking a lot about, this three-party situation between these two people, okay? So it probably just has him a bit silent, okay? Probably has him a little bit silent, but what I can tell is, by the end of the week, I feel like, he'll come out of this, come out of this stillness and actually communicate, okay? Because again, the clock has not stopped ticking. Divine timing is all over this, okay? Clearly there's still devotion, like I said, between both of you. So I really don't feel like, there's a whole lot to really worry about as far as that goes. So I wouldn't take this, this coldness too seriously. Now, another thing that this could be, and I'd hate to, think about that, but, divine timing, this could mean, for some people, that, it may take till winter before there is some communication, okay? Also, winter could just mean, something special to you. Maybe it's when you met your divine counterpart. Maybe, it's their birthday. Their birthday is in the winter. And, it just kind of has you thinking about how devoted, just thinking about that, reminds you of how much you are devoted to them, okay? So, winter can mean, a few things, okay? It doesn't have to just mean one thing. But, because winter has already passed, we're already in the springtime, I just feel like, this is more talking about, Divine Masculine is clearly, juggling this balancing act in this three-party situation, okay? But, I feel like, I still feel like there's going to be, there will be some communication, okay? There will still be some communication. So, let me go ahead and pull one more. Give me one more, Spirit, one more. All right, so we have Observer. So, so even though, like I said, your counterpart may not be talking to you right now, okay? But, they're observing you, they're watching you, behind the scenes they are still, checking you out and, making sure that, you are, you are still, you are still around, possibly not seeing somebody else, things along that line. Now, we do have this reinvention, so I do feel like, it could also possibly be that, that both either you or either or Divine Masculine or Divine Feminine could be, taking a break, freezing things for right now to reinvent themselves, waiting for divine timing, okay? And once this reinvention occurs, there'll be communication because there is this devotion. In the meantime, I feel like, you're both, pretty much observing each other, okay? I do feel like this reinvention is for both of you. I don't feel like it's just for one person, okay? I feel like it could be for either or both, all right? So, I just think it's, just freezing things for a little bit, okay? But this freezing is not permanent. I feel like it's very, very, very short-lived, okay, because we do have communication coming out. So I don't feel like it is going to be long-lasting. I do feel like it will be short-lived, all right? You know, this reinvention, you know, I feel, you know, because of the fact that we do have, you know, the Queen of Wands who's confident and magnetic, I do feel like that's part of the reinvention. It's part of trying to build up your confidence again, trying to build that magnetism within yourself, and not letting this three-party situation get you down. You know, you're not. It's not going to get you down no matter what. You know, this balancing act. You know, you're just not letting it get the best of you. Okay, so I feel like that's part of what this reinvention is. Regardless, divine timing is at work. Okay. Everything's in divine timing. All right. Now let me go ahead and just pull, you know, a couple of clarifiers. In fact, let me pull a clarifier for divine timing. Spirit, give me a clarifier for divine timing. Alright, so we do have death, alright? So we do have death. That's clarifying divine timing. And you know, death is about, you know, death is about death and transformation. So I feel like the reason why divine timing is at play here is because, you know, divine timing is really wanting both parties, not just one, but both parties to really just, you know, put some old ways, you know, to rest, to death, you know, and, you know, to transition and transform, okay? And that is the reason why divine timing is still a factor here, because it's for, you know, death and transformation, okay? And, you know, there seems to be some type of transitionings taking place as well, okay? I feel like this transitioning also has to do with this reinventing, trying to build confidence, you know? But let me go ahead and pull a clarifier for reinvention. Well, this fell out, so let's see. Knight of Swords, all right? Knight of Swords, decisive action. So part of this reinvention has to do with where, because listen, you know, there's this balancing act, right? This is clearly, you know, juggling and not being able to make a decision, right? So the fact that this reinvention is having to take place, what is it? You know, what is this reinvention going to reinvent? Well, it's going to reinvent actually being able to be decisive, okay? Decisive action, being decisive and taking action on it, okay? So that there is no more balancing act, okay, of this three-party situation. So this part of this, like I said, part of this reinvention, I feel like, number one, for divine feminine, this reinvention has to do with building confidence, okay? Building your confidence. For divine masculine, I feel like it's reinventing himself to be able to make decisive decisions and take action on those decisive decisions, okay? So that's what is being reinvented. And so divine timing right now, you know, is, you know, again, the clock doesn't stop, but the clock does keep ticking. And the reason why, you know, divine timing is, you know, prolonging, you know, the clock is because there does need to be death and transformation in order for these reinventions to take place. Okay, so, you know, that definitely, you know, makes sense. Let's go ahead and pull a clarifier for this devotion. Okay, so we have the Ace of Swords, okay? It says breakthrough in awareness. So I feel like, you know, once this reinvention takes place, once, you know, divine timing feels like death and transformation has taken place, and reinvention has taken place, this devotion will actually lead to, you know, a breakthrough, okay? It will lead to a breakthrough. It says, you know, the Ace of Swords, breakthrough and awareness. I feel like, you know, part of this devotion is being aware of, you know, the connection, the bond, right? And that, you know, is what's going to lead to a decisive action, okay, for divine masculine, all right, in divine timing, all right? So, it's beautiful. I think that's beautiful. So let's go ahead and see, you know, what's still currently blocking. What's still currently blocking? All right, so we do have excuses, okay? We do have excuses. So I feel like, you know, I mean, this is still what is currently blocking the connection. And what I believe we had the last energy check-in. So, you know, there are still some excuses being made, which is why, you know, this death and transformation, you know, does need to occur, which is why divine timing is taking its time, okay? And why reinvention needs to take place, okay? Because, you know, there's just still excuses why not to move forward, you know, with the connection, you know, especially being part of, you know, this three-party situation, you know. The excuses, you know, balancing, you know, the balancing act, the juggling of this three-party situation. All right, so, you know, but, you know, this card too, this Three of Cups, it does say celebration and community, okay? So, you know, it could be that part of the reason why, you know, there is, you know, a bit of a freeze with the connection this week, and it can be on either part, either for divine masculine or divine feminine. I feel like, you know, both are, you know, right now caught up with, you know, with family, friends, the community, possibly some celebrations, you know, maybe some birthdays or stuff like that. So, you know, but, you know, also third party, you know, so two different things there. So let's go ahead and pull a message from your counterpart. All right, so we have your beauty still moves me, okay? Your beauty still moves me. Let's go ahead and pull one more. I can still feel you. So make no mistake, you know, your counterpart, you know, your beauty still moves them, and they can still feel you, okay? You know, there's, you know, still a bit of some hindrances, but you know, they're clearly watching you, okay, wanting to communicate. I feel like there will be communication, you know. It's just that trying to juggle, you know, that balancing act, you know, probably caught up with family and friends and whatnot. But I you know, I do feel like, you know, that's not really getting to Divine Feminine this week. Divine Feminine this week is in her power, and she's feeling confident this week. So, you know, I feel like, you know, she's not really going to let this three-party situation really get the best of her for this week. All right, so let's pull one final card here from Spirit. Okay, so we have deep knowing. All right, deep knowing. And where's the, okay, deep knowing. All right, so it says deep knowing, intuition, listening to the oracle within, empathy, and hypersensitivity. In relationships, it says, there are occasions when you know deep in your heart and soul that a person is going to play a meaningful role in your life. Someone crosses your path, and suddenly, out of the blue, you're connected at a level impossible to describe. That feeling marks a moment in time etched into your soul. Someone has entered your life who will be instrumental in your journey, so pay attention. Two hearts are calling each other to begin an alchemical process. This is also a sign that your intuition about the person you care about is correct. Trust your heart to lead you now. Magic is about to happen. So, you know, so with this card coming up this week, this is basically talking about, you know, trusting your instinct. If, you know, if you've been wondering if somebody is your twin flame, this is basically saying that, yes, this person is supposed to play an instrumental part in your life. And there is a deep knowing and a deep connection. Your intuition is letting you know. And Spirit is saying that, you know, they're part of your journey. And, you know, if you've been questioning it, the answer is yes. They are your twin flame. That's basically what this card is saying. So, you know, that's a good way to end this. I think that's beautiful. So, that's it, everybody. I will be doing, you know, hopefully I'll be doing the karmic situation tomorrow. But, you know, that's what I have for today. That's what I have for this week. Again, if anybody's interested in a personal reading, the information's in the description box. And if you have questions, I have answers. And we'll talk to you all soon. Love you. Bye.